Yo, what's good with y'all boys? It's Kai here, and today we about to be talking about the Pope's Exorcist. So yeah, let's just get right into it. I'm not a big fan of the whole exorcism genre, so just like keep that in mind. The only two movies that like I can even really think of that I like really enjoy and I'll watch are The Conjuring and Insidious Chapter 3. Those are like the only and Insidious Chapter 1. Those are like the three movies that I can think of. It's The Conjuring Part 2. I don't know if that's a full. I mean, there might be some like exorcism moments in there, but like, it's more of like a haunted house movie, isn't it? Anyway, Conjuring 1, Insidious 1, and Part 3 are like the three movies that I can think of are like the best exorcism movies for me that I like watching. A lot of people really love The Exorcist, the original movie. It came out way before I was born. I understand that. It's just not my cup of tea. Anyway, we were just talking about that because those are some of like the best exorcism movies among a whole bunch of other exorcism movies. I don't really like exorcism movies, like I said. I like witchcraft. I like cults. I do not like exorcisms. I like, mystery horror movies. I like vampires. I'm not a big exorcism guy. I like pretty much every other genre in horror besides exorcism. So just keep that in mind. But yeah, this movie was honestly, for me, to be honest, it was an exorcism movie for me because I'm a big Russell Crowe guy. Uh, I like a lot of the movies that he's in, and I really like his performances, and I liked his performance in this movie. Um, and a lot of other performances in this movie I thought was pretty good. And I thought that the writing in this movie was not terrible. There was some things in this movie that was some like, I wish that would have worked out better with the other priest. I wish that like I don't know, you can't do everything for every character, but there was some things in there with his character that I was just like, I don't like if I no, I don't know if I liked that how that played out. It just I don't know if I would have did it like that. It's just me. Anyway, but yeah, this movie was not bad, bro. Like there was a lot of things in there that was like I liked the kid, how the weird voice was coming out of him, and like I thought that was one of the best parts of the movie was and a lot of people might think that it's like something that they've already seen a million. I can see it right now, bro. People are gonna say, "Oh, I've seen this shit a million times." I feel like you haven't though, in a way, because like in a lot of other exorcism movies, they're just like throwing up all over themselves and licking piss and like fucking licking piss and oh, I'm cracking my bones and breaking their necks and fucking doing the fucking Harlem Shake out there and like there's a part in this movie where like the girl goes full into like the and I was like, oh man, please don't do that. And they just do it for like 5 minutes, thank God. And then there's a part where the boy goes like one time in bed, but like for the most part, they don't do a lot of that crap where they like break bones and go like that's something I don't like. I really only like whenever they did that in Insidious Chapter 3 with the girl. That's the only time I ever really liked whenever they did the whole cliche breaking bones. Like I just don't see that as a thing most of the time. Like it just doesn't scare me. It doesn't like it just seems too I don't know. I don't know. It just takes me out of the movie whenever they do it most of the time. I don't know what it is. It just does. And they didn't do it too much in this movie, but they did it a couple of times. And it was, whenever they were doing it, I was like, come on, please don't do that. You guys were doing so good with the boy, like like I said, the scariest parts whenever the boy was just sitting there and like the mom sat down in the bed and you just like grabbed her titty and you're like, oh shit, don't fucking do that, son. You're like, you're gonna regret that in the future. Or his mom was saying some shit and he's like, I will fuck you or some shit. I'm like, god damn, bro, like the fuck is going on? His sister comes in, she's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? Like that like is that was like the craziest part of the movie to me. Partly was like the whole fucking how vulgar the kid was, because like a lot of times they'll go like, oh fuck you, and they'll just do it like one time or whatever, but they won't go like, they took it there. And there was a couple times in this movie where they went for it, like, and I liked where they went for it, because those were like some of the best parts. Like the part where they went to hell, they went for it. They didn't go for it all the way. They could have went even further, and I wish they would have, to be honest. Instead of doing all the whole instead of wasting time doing that, they could have put more time on the screen into hell and all that shit. That's what I wanted to know more about, was, you know, in the witchcraft, like that whole thing under their house. Like I wanted to know more about that, like the whole, I don't know what the hell was going on down there. They did some type of ritual or some shit, and like, because whenever he walked down, like the people first got there, bro, and they were setting up construction, and the guy lit his cigarette. I forgot what they were doing. He might have been throwing a match in there to see what it was. He lit a match for some reason, and boom, blew everyone up. And they're like, fuck this, we're not working there. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, there must be a gas line that's open or something. Like, that's what I'm thinking whenever the movie first starts. And then the Russell Crowe goes down there and throws a motherfucking match in that bitch. And I'm like, what the hell? And they walk down there, the motherfucking blows up. They walk down there, and he's like, yeah, it smells like sulfur and gases. He's like, yeah, we getting closer to hell. And I'm like, what? And I thought they were going to go further with it, and they didn't. They wanted to go waste more time on, Timmy's bones cracking. Pretty fucking gnarly, dude. Like, bro, what the fuck? Oh, man. This is why I don't like exorcism movies. Like, even the ones that I like the most of the time, I just would never rewatch. Like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna rewatch this movie. Whenever I was watching it, I was like, fuck yeah. I was like hyped a lot of the time, and then a lot of time I was getting disappointed a little bit, and then I got hyped again, and then whenever it was over, I was like, I was loving that a lot of the time, and then they just fucked it up a little bit. They had to go. I don't know, something about the way they just didn't stick the landing. It was like, I loved a lot of the things that they were doing with, like, the Pope and shit, how, like, he thought that he was, like, a bad person because he, like, didn't save somebody whenever he was younger, which, like, yeah, that'd fuck you up, or whatever, but, like, at the same time, you're not the most terrible person ever. Like, and then you got the other guy, he's like, oh man, I'm the worst person ever, because, like, I was fucking my priest's daughter or some shit, and I'm like, damn, that's fucked up, but, like, you're good, bro. You're good. I mean, I understand why that could be a problem, but say you're, ask God for forgiveness and you're good. Like, it's not that big of a deal. You didn't do something too big. You just fucked a bitch whenever you weren't supposed to. It'd be like that. But yeah. Some of y'all gonna watch this video. Oh, this dude is a bad guy. Ain't no motherfucking way, bro. But yeah, bro. Some of that shit was bothering me though too, cause like, I was like, bro, if y'all gonna do something like that, like, that's why it's like mixed for me, okay? Cause like it's like I like how they did it a little bit, but at the same time I'm like, if you're gonna do something, like, just go there, like, just make the priest a murderer or something, like, like if you're gonna do it, just do it, like, I don't know, I don't really know if it added anything, but that's why it's mixed for me, because I don't know yet. It might, if I ever decide to rewatch the movie, which I highly doubt that I will, to be honest. But there might be some day where I'll say I'm gonna pop in the Pope's Exorcist and be holly jolly in this motherfucker. But yeah, like, that shit was it was cool. Best parts was like Russell Crowe, of course, and then the kid with the voice, and then the hell dimension. That was the best parts. And I wish there would have been more of all that in the movie, and it would have been even better. And less of the possession bullshit, because we got enough possession bullshit with the stuff I was just talking about. And if you would have just left it like that and put more like witchcraft and all that shit, because like we didn't get enough. They just, why'd they even put the witchcraft bullshit in there? Other, like, I mean, I understand you're trying to explain it, but then there's these people like who are on them, who watch movies and they think that everything has to be explained so much. And I'm like, bro, like, my grandpa used to always tell me this thing, it's a movie, man. Like, he used to always tell me that shit, bro. It's a motherfucking movie, boy. Like, there's gonna be things that happen on movies that don't happen in real life. Like, I understand y'all are gonna, like, watch movies and you want it to be just like real life. Like, I understand that a little bit, but like, some people just nitpick too much, is what I'm trying to say. I hate nitpicking. Like, there's a level of like saying like you think they could have did it better, and then there's a level of nitpicking where you just like nitpick. But yeah, that's coming from me because I'm a motherfucking Star Wars fan, and Star Wars fans are toxic and they be nitpicking. But yeah. Y'all boys, G safe, bro. Go watch The Pope's Exorcist. It's not a bad movie. I'm not saying everyone will like it, but I think it's not a bad movie. I mean, it's not a great movie, but if you like horror shit, you might like it. I think you won't regret watching it. I mean, you might, because I like a lot of movies that people don't like sometimes. So there's that. But yeah. Y'all boys, G safe. You already know the motherfucking deal.